went out to eat on his birthday. 4 shot, 3 dead in the worst way. He kept dissing on me. Now we smoking 23. You always on my mind when I ride through the east side. I wanna see you when I see you. Y'all know what that was? Them was the lyrics to the song that Julio Foolio remixed by Fantasia called When I See You. Hit that like button, let's get into it. Julio Foolio was allegedly behind a hit that took place on Young and Ace and some of his guys. All 4 of them got shot and 3 of them died. Now, ironically, in Julio Foolio's situation, 4 people got shot and he was the only one that died. All right, so this is a brief breakdown of what happened leading up to the point where Julio Foolio ended up getting killed. Julio Foolio's cousin, Zion Brown, was taken out by DeAndre Thomas, who had ties to Young and Ace. Afterwards, Young and Ace was shot 8 times and his brother, 23, was killed. Julio claimed it. Now, Young and Ace is claiming the Julio hit. There's a picture going around, man, where they showing where Julio Foolio actually caught a face shot. There's another video going around where he's on a stretcher. And there's also footage of them showing his car, which was riddled with bullets. There's an audio clip going around. Some people saying that it's AI, some people saying that it's fake, of what's supposed to have been the sound of the gunshots and all of that when the situation occurred. Like I said in my video yesterday, Young and Ace already dropped a diss video. You know what I'm saying? They was going back and forth, dissing, and they was going back and forth, man, shooting it out with each other. I seen on the news where the feds, the ATF, I want to say the DEF, and the local police was all getting involved in this case. So they're treating this like a high priority case, and it's probably going to end up resulting in whoever doing this or whoever was involved with this going to jail. Julio Foolio was shot in December of last year, and he talked about how he went through a lot, and he went to talk to a voodoo priest or a voodoo priestess. And there's a lot of people saying that, this came back on him through that. But he was saying how he went and seen a voodoo priestess in the interview with 16 Shot Him. And he basically said that you got to go see about that. When 16 asked him, how does one get in touch or get in tune with a voodoo priestess? He said, you got to go see about that. So Julio Foolio was definitely, into the voodoo thing. I don't know if he was using the voodoo priestess for protection spells or what. He didn't clarify that, but he did clarify that he was going through a voodoo priestess. Briefly, what I know about, voodoo or hoodoo or voodoo, I know that the cross symbolizes not what we, or the traditional meaning of the cross, which is the resurrection of Christ. In Voodoo, the cross symbolizes the crossroads in which the spiritual realm and the physical realm meet. Hence, this is why it looks like a human. Spread your arms like this. You know what I'm saying? I do feel like there will be arrests made, only because these individual law enforcement agencies are all coming together as a team. Also, I'm hearing that there's camera footage, which we already could have figured that out. You know what I'm saying? I'm hearing that there's cameras all over there in that area, and the cameras may have caught Guys, you know, pulling up their masks, pulling down their masks, body movements, license plates, you know, all of this. All of this is a factor, you know, that's definitely gonna come into play dealing with this case. The war that's going on down there in Florida, man, it'll definitely continue. Julio Foolio was a big guy down there, you know what I'm saying? In his area, man, he was someone who a lot of those guys looked up to. He was somewhat of a breadwinner for them. So there's a lot of people that's upset about this, you know? Like I said before, Julio Foolio has been involved in murders, and this ain't nothing that, you know, I'm hearing from an outside source. This is something that Julio Foolio, just like the rest of these young rappers, actually admitted to. Someone said in the comment section of my video that I did yesterday that I was being disrespectful towards Julio Foolio or some bullshit like this. Look, I would never be disrespectful towards the dead. I may not be talking about a person in the context that you want me to talk about them in, because I'm not on what they own, even though I do understand, you know, their lifestyle. See, the way that these kids are living now, this ain't nothing but basically how we was living when we were shorties. They just on another level with it. They took it to the extreme. The Bible tells us, the Quran tells us, basically any religious scripture that you can find tells us that things will only get worse as time progresses. You know, wars and rumors of wars and things of this nature. Parents into it with kids, kids into it with parents, kids into it with each other. You know, these kids are on all type of drugs, man. These kids they have no guidance. What's a grandmother nowadays? The grandparents are 37, 38 years old. You know, for you to be a grandmother or a grandfather at 37, 38 in your 30s is crazy. This is what's going on now. Children are having children. And instead of these parents being parents, they're looked at more like brothers and sisters. They kicking it with their kids, smoking weed with their kids, partying with their kids. You know what I'm saying? And it's only getting worse. Like I said, y'all that are out there that's involved in this stuff, know one thing. When you're involved in something, your family's involved in it also. And the people that you with, if your ops catch you with these people, they're not gonna take the time to stop to ask no questions. Don't get your sister killed. Don't get your brother killed. Don't get your son, your daughter killed, man. Your grandma or your mama killed on account of stupidity. Because at the end of the day, you may not realize it now, but you definitely gonna realize it later if you live to see later that all of this shit is senseless and it's nonsense and it's really about nothing. And most of the time, it ain't even about no motherfucking money. It ain't even about nothing that's gonna progress or produce nothing. Real talk. It's your boy SNTV. I'm out.